It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl, our first day here in our 30th season. This is a science game show here in the Prince George's Schools. We test science IQs, test your own, and play along with us today. Have a good time. Let's meet today's teams. First from Greenbelt Middle School. Would you say hello, please, to a young lady here in her 4th year of competition, Chidima and Buwisi Alavu. Next, Alexander Swizdak. And first time on our show, Aname Efe. And from Thomas Johnson Middle School, back for her 2nd year, Monette Messina. William Cruz and Shanza Asif. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. With the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10, the tougher ones are worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking, talented teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the middle school semifinals. Go over and make sure everything works properly before we start. We go to the red team. And Alex, would you kindly press your buzzer so we can test it? Sounds good, looks good. Good luck to you, to Aname, and to Chidima. And William, would you try the green teams? It too looks A-OK. Good luck to you, to Monette, and to Shanza. And anybody have any questions before we start? Good luck. Let's have a good game. We go alphabetically G before T. So Greenbelt and Alex, let's play the bowl.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, today as an alternative to smoking, some people vape by using these kinds of cigarettes. Thomas Johnson.
Vapor cigarettes.
What's another name for them?
Electronic.
Again?
Electronic.
Electronic, absolutely right. Good answer. Go green. You choose, please, William.
Green. Body system for 15.
Body assessment for 15 points. Teams, if your doctor wants to do an ultrasound on you to test your hemodynamics, is he testing the efficiency of your digestive system, the speed of your nerves, or the flow of your blood? Thomas Johnson.
Flow of your blood.
Flow of your blood. Hemo was your clue there, as in hemoglobin. Good answer. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Again, please.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, palm trees and pine trees really don't have much in common because, pine trees make pine cones to reproduce. But because... Alex?
Coconuts?
Not coconuts. No, let me finish for Thomas Johnson. Even though they appear dissimilar, palm trees and pine trees, because pines reproduce via cones, since both kinds of trees keep their leaves all year long, you wouldn't call them coniferous, but you could call them this.
Evergreen.
Evergreens, absolutely. Thanks, Manette, for your assist on that. Good answer. Go.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, the only monkeys in America that live naturally live in South Florida, and they have what our initial name that is a synonym for a popular peanut butter cup. Greenbelt.
Reese's.
Reese's, yes, spelled R-H-E-S-U-S, as in the RH factor when we have our blood type. Good. You're on the board red. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, to get the snow to look lifelike in the movie Frozen, scientists had to study mechanics, which is a branch of what branch of science? Greenbelt.
Engineering.
Give me something else, please.
Physics.
Physics. Yes, sir. Good comeback. Go. Let's turn that light out, please. Well, before we ask the question, go, Alex.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams Luray Caverns in Virginia advertised themselves as this science's Hall of Fame. Greenbelt.
Geology.
Indeed. Thank you, Chidma. Nice assist there. Go. Red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline science for 20 points. Teams, when this famous scientist discovered radium and polonium, yes, Thomas Johnson.
Marie Curie.
Marie Curie, absolutely right. Manette knew that. Yes, she came up with the term radioactivity, the only woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes, in fact. Score at this juncture, Greenbelt 95, Thomas Johnson 115, advantage green. Is that correct? Yes, let's turn. Thank you very much. Go, William.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, when the mosasaur jumped out of the water in Jurassic World to eat that shark, it was huge, but in reality, it was only a kind of aquatic reptile. It was not one of these. Greenbelt.
A dinosaur.
Yes, in fact, it was no dinosaur, even though it certainly had the heft for it. Yes, go, red. 10 points off the lead, Alex.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, the modifiers bicuspid and tricuspid could modify 2 different body parts. Give me one. Give me one. Greenbelt.
Teeth.
Teeth. The other is a heart valve. You can have a bicuspid or a tricuspid heart valve or a tooth. 125, 115. Advantage red.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, when you turn on the tap and the water comes out brown, chances are it's because of a buildup of the chemical element Mn. Thomas Johnson.
Magnesium.
No, sir. Good try. Greenbelt. The buildup in the water, that brown coloration comes from the chemical element Mn, which is the chemical symbol for what? What you got? Manganese. Manganese was the correct answer. Go again, red. No points. Still 10 points up.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, tiny slivers of silver that act as antibiotics and are being sewn into socks to retard the odor are so tiny that they have this 4-lettered N initial prefix. Thomas Johnson.
Nano.
Nano, yes, standing for 1 billionth. Yes, indeed. Ooh, the buzzer has rung, and look at this. What a great first round. We've got a tie. Greenbelt, 125. Thomas Johnson, 125. We'll be back with part 2 in just a moment. Don't you go away.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important to anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
And welcome back to Science. Well, so nice to have you here today. We're excited. 30th year here of Science Bowl, and each of the students keep getting better and better, and we couldn't have asked for 6 better players to start out this very important anniversary year. Just some great players, a tie score. Before we ask any more science questions, let's do a few investigative questions, find out about the players and their schools. Greenbelt. Alex, tell us about Greenbelt Middle School. It's a relatively new school, a couple years old.
It's 3 or 4 years old, but one of the problems is that it's already overcrowded because they didn't realize that, well, originally they were going to put like just, I think, 6th graders in the school, have all the 6th grade, but they ended up having to put them in instead of having a separate school for both. And so now it's overcrowded.
So you're cheek by jowl over there in this brand new place, and I'm sure the school's reputation draws a lot of students there too. Everybody wants to go to, having a new school makes a difference psychologically. Who's your principal?
Mr. Cummington.
Mr. Cummington, and he's a relatively new principal, isn't he?
Yeah, it's his 2nd year.
That's right, yes. Who was there before?
Mr. Tweedy.
That's right, Mr. Warren Tweedy, absolutely right. And who's your coach?
Dr. Gupta.
Dr. Gupta, and he's just a great guy. He lives and breathes Science Bowl, and we appreciate all that Santosh does for us here on the Science Bowl. Did you have any alternates, Alex?
Krish and Jaden.
Good, we'll bring them out with Dr. Gupta in just a few moments here. Tell me the best thing about Greenbelt.
I think it's that it has a lot of technology. We have something on like 16 laptop carts of, I think it's 16 laptops. And then we have like 30 iPad carts of 30 iPads each. So we have quite a lot of technology.
And we have a Mac lab.
Yeah.
And most of the computers, most of the computers in the labs are like Macs and stuff. Yeah. The only computers that you get are like the older versions are the ones in the classrooms.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's always at least 1 or 2 computers in the classrooms.
Yeah.
But that sounds just like you're in the right place. The right place if you want a good education. Alex, before I leave you, career goals. What do you want to do?
I want to either be an astrophysicist or an engineer.
Yeah. You got a good head on your shoulders, and you're a good captain over there. I can see you doing either one. Chidma, I said at the top of the show, this is your 4th year competition.
Yes,
You've been with Greenbelt. What other school were you with?
Glenarden Woods.
Glenarden Woods, and you won the county championship. Yes, you did. So this young lady is a real example of what Science Bowl is all about. Have you enjoyed your time with us?
Yes, I have.
That's wonderful. And you want to go into the medical profession?
Yes.
And as a what?
Pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon.
Wow. And there's a lot more schooling ahead of you, and I know you're up to that. You're a great player, a great student. And Anime, so nice to have you here for the very first time. Have you been watching the show over the years?
Yes.
Yeah, now here you are on set. What do you hope to do someday?
I want to be either a zoologist or a veterinarian.
Veterinarian. We were talking earlier, you had a dog, but you had to leave your dog behind when you moved. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope you get another dog because I bet you'd be a good custodian there, a good pal to a dog or any kind of pet. Have a good game. Let's go over to Thomas. You're welcome. Thomas Johnson, nice to have you guys here. Monette, nice to have you back again. William, tell us about TJ over there. Who's your principal?
Mr. McBride.
Mr. McBride, and Miss Rayella is your coach, is she not? And she has been associated with Science Bowl for many, many years when she was at Nicholas Orem, and now she's over at Thomas Johnson, and we just think the world of Daisy. She does a great job for us. And do you have any alternates on your team?
We had one, but they backed out.
They backed out. So you're it, right? So don't let anything happen to any of you because we need you all. What about the shirts? Are these STEM shirts you're wearing?
Yes.
Yeah. And did you wear them for us today, particularly because you're on the Science Bowl?
And we also use them for field trips.
Very nice. Yeah, I like them very much there. Well, what do you want to do someday?
I think an electrical energy engineer or some kind of coder for platform games.
Wonderful. All right. It sounds like you're not only a good science student, but maybe a good math student as well. STEM, science, math, technology, engineering. It's all blended together over there. Shanza, nice to have you here. Tell me, you have, did you say a younger brother and a younger sister? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're going to be watching you on TV, so you got to be the role model here. Something tells me that comes easily to you. Tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to do something in the medical profession, like becoming a doctor.
Yeah, what do you do in your spare time?
I like reading.
What kind of books you like?
Science fiction.
Science fiction, yeah, I'm with you. Nice to have you on the show. Manette, nice to have you back. What do you like about Science Bowl?
I like how it's competitive and you get to learn more.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you demonstrate what you know, but also you pick up some new things too. And you guys are all good learners. What do you want to do, Manette?
I want to be a biological researcher.
Yeah, I can see you doing that, and there's lots of hands-on science going on in our classroom, so you're getting some good training out there. Let's get back to our game. Tie score, 125 all, TJ and Greenbelt. Last correct answer came for the green team. So, William, lots of points to give away, especially the toughest questions. Start us out.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, what A-initialed insulation material is non-combustible and doesn't conduct heat well, but has dangerous fibers, especially if you breathe them into your lungs? That is asbestos. Asbestos. A lot of times there has to be asbestos abatement because it was used in so many buildings in an era, and now we know how dangerous it is. Try again, please. Green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you have watched the Despicable Me movies or the Minion movies, you know that the Minions have eyes and mouths, but they're missing what two sense organs? Greenbelt.
Ears and nose.
That's right. They don't have any noses and they have no ears. Somehow they can communicate. Go. Red, please.
Zoo
if we could
parade
just
for 20.
flip the switch to red for me, please. Thank you. Alex?
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. Teams, you're about to see a very unusual amphibian called a siren, very primordial creature. And you can see around its head some external gills that are never reabsorbed. So even as an adult, it sort of lives its life as a permanent form of what developmental stage? Greenbelt?
Tadpole.
Give me another name, please.
Larvae?
Larva, absolutely right. It's kind of a permanent larva, even though it is an adult. And curiously, no one has ever seen these creatures mate. We really don't know how they reproduce. Go red.
Body systems are 25.
Body systems are 25. The big one in that category. Teams, on the International Space Station, of course, you can't turn on the tap because there is no pipe going up there. So they drink the water by recycling their urine and by recycling the vapor, the condensate that is in the air that is produced by what two bodily processes? Two bodily processes. Talk among yourselves, TJ, in case it comes to you. It's a 25-point question. The condensate, the vapor in the air, produced by what two body processes that is then turned into drinking water? Alex.
Respiration and sweating.
You got them both. Perfect. Nicely done. Go red.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25. The big one in that category. Teams, the chemical element tungsten does not come from the English language. It comes from the language of the country that awards the Nobel Prize. What language then is tungsten? Thomas Johnson.
Swedish.
Swedish, it is indeed. Yes, it means great stone in Swedish. Go green. Nice answer.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, multiple choice question. Plants prefer pollen brought from distant sources because of the genetic diversity it provides. It will prevent, if that happens, chlorosis, etiolation, or inbreeding. Greenbelt.
Inbreeding.
Inbreeding, yes. You don't have genes that keep getting recycled and then you have odd traits develop as a result. Good comeback. Go red.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, just as the insecticide DDT, a so-called miracle insecticide, turned out to be very bad for the environment, so too did this F-initialed refrigerant that we discovered destroyed the ozone layer. For 25 points, can you give me that refrigerant's name?
Formaldehyde?
Good try. Not formaldehyde. What was the F-initialed refrigerant that was considered a wonder chemical, but we learned later that it helped to destroy the ozone layer? What you got? It is Freon, F-R-E-O-N, and they are now taking Freon out of just about everything, including your home air conditioners, if it's still there. Go again, please, red. Advantage yours.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, Albert Einstein once said, when courting a girl, an hour can go by like a second. But when you sit on a hot stone, a second can seem like an hour. He said that is an example of the theory of what? Greenbelt.
Relativity.
That's it. Good answer. Good. Go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points. Teams, deer oftentimes have velvet on their newly emerged horns, and they slough it off during the breeding season, and it comes off in bloody lumps because it is filled with what tiniest blood vessels? Greenbelt.
Capillaries.
Capillaries. Yes, good. Go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 is a visual question. Teams, could you look at the monitor in the studio, please? Teams, these beautiful water lilies reproduce by means of thickened stems just beneath the water line. What are those T-initialed stems called that are also ascribed to potatoes? Thomas Johnson. What you got?
I pass it on to Monette.
Monette.
Tuberous.
Tuberous, absolutely right. Good, go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
It's physical for 10 points. Teams, astronomers now think that at one time Jupiter was as close to Earth as Mars is today, and they also think that these two outermost planets have switched positions. Thomas Johnson?
Neptune and Uranus.
You got it. Good, go.
Green things for 10.
Green things, did you say? Green things for 10 points. Teams, of the following crops, which one would be not effective if honeybees disappeared as pollinators? Zucchini, raspberries, tomatoes, corn. One that would not be effective if bees disappeared as pollinators. Greenbelt.
Raspberries.
Not raspberries. Thomas Johnson, zucchini, tomatoes, raspberries, corn. The only one would be unaffected if bees disappeared as pollinators.
Corn.
Corn, yeah, because it's pollinated by the wind. Go green.
Dateline signs for 10.
Dateline signs for?
10.
10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Panera Bread, along with other fast food places, in order to improve the health quality of their food, is removing this kind of corn syrup that is high in what kind? Yes, William?
Fructose.
Fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Yes, sir, go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is green things for 10. I believe we just did that one. Yes, would you choose another one, please?
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, what a week this ovine farm animal had. Alex.
Sheep.
Yeah, Sean the sheep. And sheep, a gift for Alex Ovechkin for his 30th birthday. Go red.
Dateline signs for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, California's historic drought might be relieved this winter if this weather system that is birthed to the Pacific Ocean when the water warms arrives. William?
Hurricane?
Not hurricane. Greenbelt, the weather system that is birthed in the Pacific Ocean when the water gets warmer, might bring rain to California this winter.
Typhoon?
El Nino was the answer. Go red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you go to the high latitudes on Earth to very high elevations, you will see noctilucent clouds, which are clouds that do what at night? Greenbelt.
Glow.
They glow at night. Yes, sir. Go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, be it anthracite or bituminous, no kid wants to get this kind of fossil fuel in his Christmas stocking. Thomas Johnson.
Coal.
A lump of coal, yeah. Where? 2 left.
Body system for 5.
Body system for 5 points. Teams, convicted criminals that are confined to their home are monitored oftentimes by a bracelet wrapped around Greenbelt.
Ankle.
Ankle. Last question of the game. Green things for 5 points. Starbucks' most popular flavor, especially in the fall, is derived from this. Alex?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, the super squash that they make pumpkin spice lattes with. Give yourselves a hand. Nice game, everybody. We will be back with a wrap-up here on Science Bowl in just a moment. Don't go away.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
And welcome back. What a great game here today. 6 outstanding young people. We are proud of all of them, the best of the best. We wanted a great game to start our new season, and we got it. Our final tally today is Thomas Johnson 210, Greenbelt 27. Congratulations, Greenbelt, Chidima and Alex and Anna May. Let's see some smiles over there. You did a nice job, Dr. Gupta, and the 2 alternates over there, Krish and Jaden. Would you wave to everybody over there so they can see you? Thomas Johnson, you were neck and neck all the way there. And Monette, you brought a lot of good experience today. William and Chance, I hope you enjoyed being here because we loved having you. Miss Rayella, you just do a super job and always have. We love having you here. And Mr. Lai, nice to have you with us today too. Nice to have you here. We'll see you next time on another edition of Science Bowl. Bye-bye.